Welcome. I'm here today to talk about the ins and outs of education. And my topic is why education is important. So a lot of people think that they don't need education to become rich and famous or, be successful in general. But despite that being true, you actually do need education. We all do. Education is important because it makes people knowledgeable and allows for advancements in all aspects of life. Without education, the technology, like the phone we're using to record right now, wouldn't be a thing. Education not only allows for ourselves individually to succeed and advance, but it also allows for other people, like the future generations, such as our kids, to advance as well. As seen in less developed countries, they don't have the education that we have here in America, and because of that, they have lower incomes, higher unemployment rates, higher death rates, and just overall aren't living as lavish, I guess, as we here in America are. In that sense, we're very spoiled. And if you can't get a good education, then you can't get a job, and then you can't afford food, and then you can't afford to put your kids in school and then send them to a higher level education. So overall, with the lack of education, there's like a spiral effect, and it just negatively impacts everyone around you in your society. So on that note, stay in school, work hard, and you'll have a greater chance of being successful.
I'll be talking about how homework affects your sleep and overall schoolwork. A lot of people don't understand this, but coming from a student's perspective, is that more homework essentially means less sleep for the person. People after school, they usually go for sports or band practices, and they don't get home until late hours of the night and don't start their homework until late. So this affects the cognitive performance, as they'll be more tired the next day, and if they have a test the next day, they won't be able to, perform as well as they would with a full 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Some solutions for this would be school start times could be pushed back probably to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. That would certainly affect at least high school students, because they have classes starting right now at 7 o'clock in the morning. Another thing would be having a regular schedule, knowing exactly what you're going to do. So you leave school for this time and you come back at this time. Setting up a block schedule would be an immense help for you, as well as getting some help to talk with parents about how you can get more sleep probably during the day or also during the night, and what they can do to help you.
The modern day student is under an immense amount of stress. But why should we care about this? Well, stress has a lot of negative effects on the student. For example, mental and physical health are seriously harmed because of stress. 30% of teens are reported feeling sad and depressed because of stress. And also, suicide is the third leading cause of death in teens. But where is this stress coming from? Well, one area where it's coming from is pressure to get into college. College acceptance rate has gone down as more students are applying, and students are stressing more about getting into college, and they have to get into the perfect college. And also, students have a lot of homework. They're spending hours every day doing homework, which is putting a great amount of stress on them. And standardized testing has a lot of pressure behind it, because you can pass a grade or fail a class based on how well you do on a standardized test. It's just multiple choice questions. And on top of that, bullying is still occurring in schools. Students don't feel safe at school after being bullied by other students. So what are some ways that we can fix this? What are some tips? Well, when thinking about the pressures from college, remember that you don't have to get into your top option. You don't have to get into the perfect school, because what really matters is your skills and your qualities as a person. That's what employers care about. And also, with bullying, don't forget to report it to adults. They can help you deal with your stress and help you in this situation. And for standardized testing, we have to push for a reform if we want that to change.
I'm here to talk about dropping out. Well, some causes are that students don't feel academically prepared, that they're not getting support outside of school, and that they're dealing with just problems in general that inhibit their growth in high school. And this feeling can be so overwhelming that students can make a drastic decision, like dropping out of high school, for example. So let's talk about what happens when you don't receive your high school diploma. Well, economically speaking, you'll have a lower income, you'll probably live in cheap housing, and tying in with your physical health, the only food you might be able to afford is fast food. So that's the problem right there. People who drop out also have a higher chance of committing crimes, abusing substances, and becoming incarcerated. And many students don't think about that when they're dropping out and end up regretting it later in their life. So some solutions I would say are that if you're considering about dropping out, just know that there are many support lines inside inside the school, like Grad Point, WCVPS, and counselors, for example. They work with you to help you graduate on time with the rest of your friends, like everybody wants to. And the most important thing for students to remember is that there's always another option rather than dropping out. And stress, anxiety, or school in general is getting to you, reach out for support, and you're fine.
My topic is learning styles. Learning is not black or white. You need to find your right learning style to reach your full potential. There are 3 types of learners: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. With auditory, the people learn from listening to their information. With visual, they visualize their information, and then with kinesthetic, they do hands-on experience to learn their information. For visual learners, some tips are to write your notes. Underline and highlight important information and draw pictures of what you have learned. Convert your notes into diagrams, graphs, and anything interesting to look at. If you're an auditory learner, tips include processing the information you learned out loud. Record your notes to listen to them while you're in the car, when you're doing dishes, when you're about to go to bed. Take notes and say the notes out loud again. Try to read out loud your notes without looking at them to try to memorize your information better. If you're a kinesthetic learner, some tips are learning in the hands-on way, doing projects, labs, role-playing. Memorizing notes while doing activities such as running, sports, arts including theater or band will also help. You should also study by doing quiz games and as groups. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about how the education system can help the students obtain better strategies and what the students themselves can do to obtain them. While the education system is there for just helping students and preparing them for the future, students need to obtain studying strategies that will be great for them. For example, many bad things students do, many of them do not utilize the education system properly by not asking questions. They usually don't do that due to shyness. I get that, but they need to just ask questions, because that's why the education system is there. Many students procrastinate. They're too lazy to get organized. They try remembering every little detail for tests, which makes it hard for them. And they do all their homework in one go. Students need to adapt to great study habits like active recall. And they can also stay organized. They also should take courses they love, or else they will not have a good time learning. They should use self-determination, meaning like they should measure what they can do themselves, how much they can do. They should sign up for activities outside of school, so life will not be all about school, like sports, band, etc. They should always have a positive mindset, meaning they should always believe in themselves. Otherwise, they won't have a great time learning, and they'll make everything harder for themselves than it should be. And they should also learn the way they learn.